Why'd he marry into it? Because he could. My father was cruel, controlling, and full of hate, and my mother let it happen. She had two black kids and a Latina child and still married a man who treated us like we didn't matter. He didn't just say awful things, he acted on them. One time he forced me to hit my black older brother with a mop handle, screaming at me to do it, screaming, beat that N-word's ass. When I refused, he hit me instead until my brother told me to just go along with it. That was normal in our house. If one of us got in trouble, they would line us all up and make one of us do the beating. And if it wasn't hard enough to satisfy them, they would turn on the kid who didn't do it right. It was their way of keeping us under control, making us hurt each other so they didn't have to lift a finger. Another time, my father told one of my brothers to put his sandwich in the icebox, so my brother put his sandwich in the freezer. When my father found out that it was frozen, he beat him with it until he bled. My mom, she just stood by. But she wasn't just a bystander. She did her own damage. She hurt us too. She once threw a frying pan at me during an argument with my sister, cracked my head wide open. She cracked my skull more than once, actually. Another time, my brother and I were arguing, and she threw everything she could grab at us, including a knife. It lodged in my brother's wrist. Somehow, he made up an excuse for the hospital. That's what we had to do. Find ways to cover it up, act like everything was fine. And they weren't just harmful to us kids, they were harmful and toxic to each other. I remember when my mother stabbed my father in the arm with a fork and he knocked her unconscious. Another time, he hit her so badly with a piece of rebar that he got from the street that she was left bloody and her scalp hanging halfway off her head. They stayed together, dragging us deeper into the chaos. How's my black brother now? He's the stereotype every racist dreams of, because this world made him that way. He was thrown into juvie before he even hit puberty. Petty crimes turn into felonies. Felonies turn into prison sentences. The system chewed him up, spit him out, and made sure he never had a chance. But hey, that's what this country does to black boys, right? It punishes them just for existing. My brother's life was decided the second he was born, black in a house full of hate. And my Latina sister, she's broken. Mentally, emotionally, completely broken. My mom keeps her on a leash, running errands for the family like a gopher, like a damn servant. She's never had a life of her own because my mom won't let her have one. She's almost 40 and she's still trapped. That's what happens when you grow up in a war zone, disguised as a family. My black little sister, she never had to deal with my dad, and she's not free either. My mom decided to play the role of better parent with her. But it's all fake. It's control disguised as care. She's a teenage mom now, stuck at home, smoking weed all day because that's all she knows. That's all she's been taught. My mom didn't want a daughter, she wanted a do-over baby. You ask why he married into it? Because monsters like him thrive in chaos. And you ask how my siblings are now? They're broken. Damaged in ways you can't see on the outside, but feel every second of their lives. That's what abuse does. It doesn't just end when the fists stop flying. It leaves scars so deep they never fully heal. So yeah, they married into it and they dragged us straight into the fire with them.